Hey, go ahead on tag and share. Let's get everybody on for Wake Up Wednesday. Okay,
That's that's the
got
short
you.
version.
Wonderful. So everything's been
So
going
I added a mental health section to the magazine. That was one of the things I thought was important for Tallahassee.
Really?
Yeah.
Want to say good afternoon and once again, welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. Listen, we're excited about today's show. I'm excited about everything that's going on in and around the capital city. And I promise you today, we're going to hear from some of our community voices and we're going to tell you about some things that are going on that you need to be a part of. So listen, for those of you who are joining us live by Facebook, I want to say good afternoon to Freddie Figures of Figures Communication. Just understand he just created something new, amazing, and going to be life-changing. I want to say good afternoon to you joining us by Facebook Live. Stephanie, good afternoon to you. Sister Jones, listen, go ahead on tag, share. Listen, we got an exciting show today in the studio with me. She is Tallahassee Woman's Magazine. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about that. But listen, she's going to excite you ladies for something that is coming up. Want to give a big shout out to my man, Attorney Mataki Akbar, who is now president. You know who he is. He's president of NAACP, and he's the co-host on Wake Up Wednesday. But he has been so busy that we hadn't heard his voice on the air in a while, but we definitely want to give a big shout out to him and thank him for all that he's doing. Listen, I want you to go ahead on tag, share. Let's get everybody in today because I want you to hear and be a part of what's going on Wake Up Wednesday. Listen, I had a chance to go out today to the opening of the Leon County Sheriff's Office RISE Center, and we're going to be talking with the reentry director, Officer Larry Berdue. So you want to make plans to tune in to hear about what is taking place under the direction of Sheriff Walt McNeil. Did I say Pastor Walt McNeil? I meant to say Sheriff Walt McNeil. But he has a vision, and truly that vision is to make sure that the people are empowered to serve as a servant leader, and he's doing an amazing job. So you want to make plans to join us coming up real soon. Want to say hello to Linda. How are you? Listen, go ahead on tag, share, and I want you to know today that you must still understand that we are in a crucial time. I know that we're relaxing. I know that we're seemingly back to normal, but you still have to be cautious in all that you do. As a matter of fact, I have on my shirt today says the shot counts because I understand now that the numbers are increasing, especially for those who have not been vaccinated. I'm going to be talking with people from our health departments real soon to just bring you up to date on what's going on, what's happening, and how it's happening. Keep it locked right here. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. And when I come back, we're going to be talking to the sheriff's office. And certainly I'm going to be talking to Dr. Michelle Mitchum. How are you?
Great. Oh, thank you for having me today. I'm excited. I love all that you're doing and what, Sheriff McNeil's doing, Mataki. I mean, it's just great things happening.
Well, listen, I'm excited to have you here. We're going to talk about a plethora of things with you today, but one in particular, ladies. Oh my God. Do I want to tell y'all, look, I'm going to put y'all in on something. I want you to tag every female that you know because Dr. Michelle is getting ready to host Ladies in Roller Skates.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, right. That's right. We're having the Fierce and Flexi Red rollout, and RED stands for Women Who Are Resilient, Empowered, and Determined. Lots of people through the pandemic were trying to do something for self-care and mental health, and they keep saying we should go roller skating. And I'm like, hey, it's adult night. Let's get together, all you fierce and flexy ladies who want to practice that wellness and that self-care and self-love. So let's get together and have some fellowship, some fun, develop friendships, and let's do it. And we're going to start tomorrow night.
Y'all gonna do it on roller skates. Listen, we're gonna talk about that. I mean, so tag all of your female friends and get ready to be a part. Keep it locked right here. Don't go nowhere. I'm coming right back talking to Officer Share of the Director of the Reentry Initiative, Larry. Facebook family, go ahead on tag share. Let's get everybody in. Hey, Stephanie, Linda, Freddie, bless you. Let's get everybody in. I'm glad to have y'all tuning in. It's getting ready to be furious right up in here. So everything's been going okay.
Everything's going. I love your shirt. The
Well,
shot
thank you.
counts. Is
The
that
shot-
something that you all started?
Yeah, absolutely.
That looks great.
When we did the men's all in initiative,
Mhm.
one of the things that we wanted to do was encourage men, and so we did the shot count shirts,
Mhm.
and it's
That's one of the great commercial. It's so sad. So many people have died, right?
yeah, and
Like
the thing about it
600,000 since the beginning of the pandemic, right?
is- yeah,
The numbers are
and they
horrendous.
still going on.
Despite now with the new variant.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Patricia, how are you? Well, God bless you. We are back and we're on the air, and certainly I'm excited about today's show. I want to say to you today that I had an opportunity to go out to the grand opening of the Leon County Sheriff's Office Rise Center. And joining me on the phone line is the Director of the Reentry Services, Larry Perdue. How are you, sir? Well, listen, I am excited to have you on the air with us today, and certainly it is a blessing because you are leading the charge under the leadership of Sheriff Walt McNeil when it comes to reentry. How important is that, Larry?
Extremely important initiative program. Under Sheriff Wheeler, had made a lot of changes to reentry, a lot of pre-planning. Brandon, and thank you very much for being a part of our grand opening today at the Leon County Sheriff's Office Rise Center. Our Rise Center is a continuum of care for us. And as you know, as your listeners know, we have Leon County has a great support system in service providers that all are very well intended and have very much needed services for our citizens that are formerly incarcerated and looking to transition back out into the community. Oftentimes those service providers can sometimes work in silos. So the Rise Center concept is bringing all those service providers that keep helping bring all different kinds of services like identification documents, employment assistance, education and training, housing, substance abuse, mental health, civil and legal services, financial assistance, money management, and different types of counseling, bringing all those service providers together in one location to be able to provide services to our transition centers.
Wow. Well, Larry, let me ask you something because first of all, I think that is so important. Just as you were talking, and I'm here with my next guest who's going to be joining us, Dr. Michelle. She just reminded me that what you all are developing is a circle of care. And I thought that was so amazing for her to just share that with me, because once a person gets ready to re-enter, they are having to go into so many directions just to get answers.
Yes, sir.
And, and so this will kind of give them a roadmap to where they need to go, because it seems like a big Walmart that you all have put together.
And it is like once somebody enters our program, we offer them an assessment, and we use the results of that assessment and frequent interview to create what we call a transition plan. And that's very roadmap that we describe. And it's very personally incentive. Gone are the days where we want to do our program. What works for one doesn't always work for another. And with that concept, we take that transition plan and it guides us what kind of programming that our incarcerated population they want to take, and then continue into their transition back into the community. And the RISE Center is where they'll be able to continue to receive those services. And like I said, we have so many of those service providers, they only have to go to one location to get them.
Wow. I am really applauding all of the work that the visionary of the sheriff department is doing, Sheriff Walt McNeil, because at the end of the day, law enforcement is a major part of our community. But men who have committed crimes and they're now trying to get their lives back on the right track is also a major part, because if we're going to stop the recidivism, if we're going to figure out ways for our communities to be safer, then to see law enforcement at the forefront, it says, even though I have a responsibility if you break the law, I'm now saying I want to help you become a law-abiding citizen by advocating and providing resources. How big is that, Larry?
In our core values, we say we thrive. We believe that people can and you change, and that all people have values and they deserve respect.
Wow.
So the participants that come to our program, we RISE Center, they receive judgment frequency, and our work is relationship-based, personal-centered, and responsive to the needs of that individual. So again, gone are the days when we have that program. We're going to look at the person in the very situation that they're in and create a roadmap that leads them to having a successful transition. Where, and at the end of the day, it's all about increasing the safety in our communities. And because Leon County, let's face it, it's a great place to live, work, and play. It really is. And kudos to our service providers and all of our partners, because without them, we wouldn't be able to make this possible.
Well, you know what, Larry, you truly you said something that's so powerful, and in the studio with me to talk on another segment. But I know that she has something that she wants to say. I'm just sitting here looking at her, and she is like all cheers, because this is something that is dear to her heart, because she's involved in clinical mental health. And Dr. Michelle, you're listening to Larry talk about the reentry initiative RISE and talk about the vision of the sheriff, and I know you were just bubbling over with
Yeah, Larry, nice to meet you. It's excellent what you all are doing, and the Sheriff McNeil. The mental health component, all the components are very important, and we know that mental health has been something that's been like a taboo. The fact that you all have that as a core component in the equation just speaks volumes. That's very powerful, because people do need that community of care, that circle of care, for that reentry to get acclimated to the community. So I'm so happy to hear, and I am excited to hear that. When I hear clinical mental health counseling, a lot of people talk about it, but I say, don't talk about it, be about it. So the fact that you put the money, you all are intentional, and that's a part of the equation, is just phenomenal. Thank you for including mental health in that vision.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Michelle. And certainly, divert them to getting the care that they need, but also creating a continuum of care component on the other end as well. So doing a lot of great things, and but again, partners like yourself and many others who are helping make this go full circle.
And you know, Larry, I want to say this because you know, the problem that we have encountered when it comes to mental health, men and women that are incarcerated, is a problem that just did not occur overnight. It has been a time-sensitive problem that has been growing, and to be able to see now that you all are taking a major step is applauded. And I want to say to those who are listening to the broadcast, the sheriff, Walmart near his department, they're not going to solve all of our problems overnight, but you can become engaged. I want you to hear something. A circle, a community of care. That means your involvement has to be present at the table. We can no longer feel that we're going to isolate the men and women that are coming back to our communities. We got to embrace them. Churches have to embrace them. And I love the initiative where with the All In initiative, where faith leaders are embracing those that are coming back. Larry, let's talk about something else that I think is so important. Besides RISE, there's another program called VEER that is now at the forefront of, man, I tell you, I really want to call y'all a ministry rather than a sheriff's department.
Can I jump in? I want to say something real quick. He said something about person-centered.
Okay, go ahead.
And I just want to say, you know, you said some key words. You said that you all have a humanistic approach and person-centered. That really warmed my heart, because a lot of times we think of people who've been incarcerated, not we, but society, as something less than human.
Wow.
You know, so when you said a humanistic, person-centered approach, that says a lot about how you see them, because we need people to see us. You know, like that program. Remember when they see
Absolutely.
us? And so when you see them as an individual, that's a game changer right there.
Wow. Wow.
It is, and that's got to be our core value. That's got to be all about what we do. Or things aren't they changed. And you know, again, we try all these new things. I'll talk to you about fear, but I embrace and hope that the community also to embrace that this is Leon County's most important effort is reentry, because we're trying something that's really you know, far ahead of where a lot of places are going, and we see a lot of success when we put this kind of time and resources into people who really need it, because these folks, they are a part of our community. And so what we're doing with VEER is we're working with the state attorney's office, we have the public defender's office, we have the judiciary, and what VEER is going to be our housing for reentry through pathways. So when you look at the old sheriff's work camp model, typically it was very it had to do with discipline and you know, putting somebody in a striped uniform.
Absolutely.
And, you know, basically what we want to do instead of the discipline model, we want to go more towards a vocational and an educational opportunity.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is through that assessment, we're going to find people that need that edge with some kind of a vocational opportunity. So we've got a partnership with CCC where we're going to be starting to do the commercial driver's license class.
Wow.
And so with the all-in initiative, we've got businesses that are hiring, that are going to hire folks on the other end. So they're going to have them go through the training, but this is going to be something that they're sensitive to. So the state attorney and the public defender's office will develop a fleet. The sheriff's office will be involved in helping that pathway. Once it gets to the judiciary would actually sentence them to the pathway program. And so throughout their sentence, they'll be they will be housed in what we call the VEER, vocational education.
Wow.
Encouragement to reform.
Wow.
And so we're going to be able to bring them to their classes on weekends and nights. We're going to bring service providers in to teach them skills to make sure that they're ready to handle, all that they're about to have with their job and, how to handle the
Wow.
checkbook.
That's amazing.
And really and truly, we look at that as transitional because they're getting ready to go back out into society, and we want to make sure that they're ready to handle that.
Wow. Larry, I just got to say this, and I say this from my own experience of being incarcerated and seeing what is available and what's not available. And to be able to have a working relationship with our state attorney, with our public defender, with the sheriff's office, and to be able to look at cases that can go before a judge, and rather than imprisonment, rather than jail, being able to be housed in the VEER program and to learn a skill and to be able to have the kind of chance that you really need now. Man, I think that is a model that the world will fly into Tallahassee to see.
And I would welcome that for many workers. I'll tell you, Greg, the tremendous benefits from it. And really and truly, Michelle will be able to tell you, many of our partners will tell you, employment is, people have to be able to feel like they support themselves and their family, and to be able to do that. We've got great businesses that have signed the pledge that simply says this: they are certainly amenable to affording employment opportunities to our formerly incarcerated.
Wow.
So oftentimes, I'll tell you, we started saying, soon after they were released, finding employment, but I'm finding that these businesses are very quite amenable to doing Zoom while they're still incarcerated, having those interviews and going through all the paperwork. And we've got several of our formerly incarcerated that as they walk out the door, they're reporting to work.
Wow. Listen, that is definitely commendable. And because I just believe that, and not only, now, I don't just believe this, but I know this. I know that once a man who has been incarcerated can find employment, his whole life changes. All he needs is a chance. I have witnessed so many men who started maybe just being the cleanup guy at Burger King, but because of their work ethic, they moved into levels of management. So many testimonies of men. There's a young man I know now who is now employed with the city of Tallahassee. And I was sharing with Mayor Daley how giving him a chance has now literally turned his whole life around. Why? Because everywhere he went to put in an application, they went the background check and he was denied. So we have to find partners in the employment sector that will bring on men and women who are coming from behind jail cells. We are not asking for a handout. We're asking for a handout. And certainly we thank God for the vision of our sheriff, the RISE program, the VEER program. And Larry, we're excited about the work ahead for reentry.
Absolutely, because really and truly, the grand opening was today, but this is where the real, where the real work starts. So, I would just encourage the community to have a purpose or a business. Want to get involved? I'm very readily accessible. My team and I would love to have you as part of being all in with all the sheriff's initiatives. And again, together it takes a village. So I would just encourage anybody who wants to get involved, please come and get involved. And we're making tremendous strides and making big difference in people's lives.
Wow. Well, Larry, I tell you, I'm so excited. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about the fact that the collaborative partners have created this circle of care that's going to do more than just unlock the cell door to say you're free, but unlock the cell door and have a path that's going to help men and women find that level of success that they've been desiring and hoping for. And I think that you said something that was so important. I think you said it in the core values, that you all believe that people can and do change. And all people have to value is they deserve respect. And I think that is so important. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Big shout out to Shonda Knight, who's definitely keeping the community, the world awake on what's happening at the Leon County Sheriff's Department. And certainly I'm excited about working with all the things that are being done when it comes to reentry. And I don't know whether I should say this today or not, but I'm excited about July the 30th, because something special is going to be happening for me with the Sheriff's Department. No, I'm not being arrested, but but I am going to be sworn in as an honorary deputy. Isn't that amazing, Larry? Absolutely. So one thing that our men and women know coming out of jail, they've got someone that they can really sit down and talk to, who understands what a DR is all about, what isolation is all about, and can share with them that, hey, if this can happen for me, it can happen for you. And all people need is this example to look to and look for. Larry, once again, thank you so much. And man, we're looking forward to the great things that you and the department is going to be doing when it comes to reentry. God bless you. Hey, that's Larry Perdue. He is the director of reentry over at the Leon County Sheriff's Department. And listen, there are some big things that are about to rise. That's right. So listen, we're going to be talking more about what's going to be happening on July 30th. That's right. I'm in the process of writing a new book now, From Traumatized to Deputized. You're going to make plans to order that ASAP. Well, listen, when I come back, I'm going to be talking to Dr. Michelle about what's happening with women on roller skates. Don't go nowhere. Keep it locked right here, 95.3. Tag and like and share with all your friends on Facebook. We're coming right back. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much, Stephanie, Patricia. Thank all of you for your congratulations. Wasn't that amazing? Hey, Apostle Fisher, man, listen, I want you to give me a call at the station. Give me a call probably about 2:45. I want to talk to you because you know what it means to be incarcerated. You know what it means to deal with mental health issues. And I just want to talk to you and get your views on what you think about what is happening in Leon County. So we're getting ready to talk, Michelle, about
Right. So thank you for inviting me today. I'm excited.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I'm
calling
excited
it
about
the
what you
Fearsome Flexi Red Rollout. And so, we have the Red Gala.
Right.
I want to
So,
thank you for talking to me that day
about it.
because it was,
Yeah, it was. So listen, once
so
we
the
get
Red
back,
Rollout.
we're gonna talk about first we're gonna talk about we definitely gonna talk about that, but
Yes, I could imagine.
so let me tell you all, this is tell them what this is, Michelle.
The Tallahassee Woman Magazine, for women, by women, about women. It's a minority and women-owned magazine. It's in its 15th year. We just celebrated 15 years of being in Tallahassee.
Wow. So listen, I'm sitting with the CEO and publisher of Tallahassee Women Magazine.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? All right. Well, listen, go ahead, like, tag, and share. And we're going to dive into what's getting ready to happen in a few minutes. That's right. You fight on. Mm-hmm. God bless you. We're back right here on Wake Up Wednesday. That's right. It's the show that wakes you up to what's going on in and around our city, in and around our community. Did you hear Jeff Bezos gave Van Jones his organization $100 million?
No.
Yes.
What? I
Listen-
guess after you go on a space trip and spend zillions, I
Yeah.
guess you could do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Good for
so
him.
wow, and 100 million to do just
Not
whatever
1
you
million.
want. Not
100
100.
million.
Wow.
Wow.
And so, as a matter of fact, when Jeff Bezos invested in Bitcoin, I did too. So I'm gonna follow what he's doing. All right. Well, listen, I just thought I'd throw that in because man, there's so much going on. But listen, I am delighted to have on the second phase of this broadcast today, none other than a wonderful person who has been really a voice of reason here in our city, who has really been doing some amazing things, just taking a big leap of faith, calling for women like never before. Dr. Michelle Mitchum, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Pastor, for having me today.
Well-
and it's all about, it's all about the community.
Absolutely.
That's what we do.
So I mean, your resume is just full of so many major accomplishments. But I want to talk to you about what's happening on tomorrow. But I also want to talk to you about some of the things that pastors deal with, because I know we mentioned it earlier about the shows that we've been having when it comes to shepherds bleed just like sheep. And you said something that was so important when you said that most leaders who are in ministry do not have support groups.
Yes. And so that's the point. A lot of times people just need support, and people think that the leaders can take care of it on their own. But just like counselors sometimes have like peer supervision, or they get together with their peers and lean on somebody. You lean on me. You have to lean on others and show your vulnerability, because in showing your vulnerability, that's actually showing strength and demonstrating to others as a model that you, as a leader, also can ask for help. And I think that that's very important, because a lot of times people in a leadership position don't ask for help because people think that they have all of the answers. But as Larry said, we're all human. There's that humanistic component. Meet people where they are. Everybody's just a human. No matter how smart you are, no matter how many degrees or accolades, people are human. They have emotions. They experience pain and joy and love the same way. And then when there's crises and there are things that, brick walls that you run into, what do? What are your coping skills? And a lot of people just don't know what to do with coping. There's some people that deal with problem-focused coping, and some people deal with emotion-focused coping. That's their method of coping. And if you're, just an emotional basket case, that's not really effective coping. So there has to be a balance of attacking the problem, looking at the root cause analysis of the problem, coming up with a plan. That's why we have mental health counselors. That's why we have pastors. That's why we have lots of people in the helping field. But like you said, how do you cultivate that community of care if people don't trust, or they don't know the resources, they don't know where to go? There's always an answer. But first, people have to admit or reach out or feel comfortable asking for help.
Wow. And that's one of the things that we have been able to pull out of the various segments that we've been having on air when we brought various pastors to the table to discuss. No one wants to admit that they're bleeding. So thank you so much for just that tidbit. And I'm going to have to get you on to talk with us in that area. But let's talk about what I invited you to hear about later. Listen, I saw this flyer on Facebook, and it said roller skating. And I thought it was just so unique. So I reached out to Dr. Michelle and I said, wow, tell me about what's going on. And she says to me, and I want her to tell you all about it because I just thought it was amazing. Ladies' night out roller skating. How did that happen?
Well, during the pandemic, actually, that's when it happened. A lot of people are saying, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to cope. And so I said, let's get together and start walking. So a group of ladies, we started walking. I kept inviting all these different women to walk. We would walk in my neighborhood, Cascades Park, just walk anywhere, 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles. So they started joking, about walking with me because they said I would walk too far. But anyway, just walking and talking, I realized that sense of community, that community of support, like you're saying, just communicating and caring. we came together. So I said, these are some fierce and flexy women.
Wow.
And so then what was born was Fierce and Flexy. And so that's the wellness component of Tallahassee Woman Magazine, because we're fierce women. The fierce women are women who are mothers. They're people who are working. They're going to school. They're juggling all these things, trying to pay the bills, trying to just be leaders. And then they get up the next day and start all over. So those are fierce women. And when I say flexy, I don't mean flexy just in, you can do a somersault or some yoga. I mean, you're flexing your muscle. You're flexing your brain. Women are flexing their faith. You have to use all of those components, the mind, body, spirit, in order to stay on top of your game. So the fierce and flexy component, right? We are doing a red rollout. And I want to thank you, Pastor, because 2 years ago we had the Red Gala, the inaugural Red Gala, and thanks to you, it's so and others, very successful. And the red stands for women who are resilient, empowered, and determined. So red rollout, we're inviting all the women. I want people to come out for the adult skate night at Skate World tomorrow for fun, for fellowship, for friendship, for networking. Come out.
Okay. So that's tomorrow, beginning at what time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. at Skate World.
Yes.
So now, how can I want to challenge about 50 ladies right now to say, I'm coming out on tomorrow. Skate World is located on.
It's right on Capital City, Capital Circle, not far from Centerville Road.
Okay. Right
there.
Across from Appalachian. I think so.
No. Off of Centerville, it's near Centerville and Capital Circle.
So, okay.
Yeah, not
Skate
far
World.
from the post office, Skate World.
Okay,
Yeah.
Skate World.
Skate World. And so 6 p.m.
And ladies are coming from everywhere. What if they don't know how to skate?
It's okay if they don't know how to skate. Some women have said, look, I might put on the skates. It's $10, at the door. It's the regular skate night. It's $10. It includes rental skates. Some people said, look, I may put on the skates, but I don't know if I'm going to skate. I don't know if I can. You don't have to be a great skater. It's okay. Some people are going to be skating and jamming, having like a jam session. They're going to be dancing on their skates, roll, bounce.
Yeah, let me see.
Movie?
Can I find that in there? Let me see. Can I find that? What's that? Roll, bounce. Let's see. Can we find that? Blow the dust off of that, and let's see. So that's what's going to be happening on tomorrow night. Listen, ladies, this all started from you all walking.
Yeah, we just started walking and realized there was a need for people to come together. People have a need to practice just being a human being, communicating, practice their culture, whatever that culture doesn't mean color. I mean, as women getting together, sharing. But, because it's adult skate night, people can bring their significant others if they want, because they might get together and do their own thing. So men are invited too, if they would like to come.
Wow.
But you have to be 18 years old and up to be at the skating rink on a Thursday night. But I just hope that people will come together. How many people remember going to the skating rink on a Saturday
find
night?
That song too.
I'm from Detroit.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, let's turn it
Let's
up.
go.
Hey.
I'm skating now.
I know.
It's happening tomorrow night. It's Skate World.
Yes. At Skate World tomorrow. Roll, bounce.
Roll, bounce. Hey, listen, and listen, I'm going to let y'all hear that song so y'all can make notes right now that this is the place you want to be on tomorrow night. You want to meet some of the ladies that's going to be there. As a matter of fact, it's a great place to just meet and greet. It's a great place to be. It's tomorrow night beginning at 6 o'clock, Skate World. It's ladies on roller skates. All of the sororities, you're invited.
Name them. Yeah, come on. Let's see how many AKAs, how many deltas.
You come on out.
There's so many.
That's right. So listen, it's happening tomorrow. Okay, Al, you talking about Day Street. That's okay. Listen here. If you know anything about roller skating on my Facebook page, if you know anything about roller skating, listening to me, I want you to call 671-1450. Let's put that song on, Doc D. Let's go.
I love it.
Al Williams said he gonna be there.
All right, let's go. And everybody, come out and show up. Show up and show out. And let's do a challenge. Tomorrow, I don't know what the challenge is. Maybe Pastor, you can come too. whoever, we have to have some prizes.
Okay,
So
we'll
people
figure out
are going to
something.
be winning. I have some fierce and flexi hats, some fierce and flexi hats, and some fierce and flexi t-shirts.
Okay. Well, listen, we got a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Dave Street in the house.
Man, you don't know nothing about skating now.
Well, let me tell you, I learned how to skate before I can walk.
So you telling me you gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there. You know what? I just got some skate for Father's Day, and hey, I'm ready, baby.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Listen, it's happening on
It's on.
tomorrow night. Okay. Now, if he was skating at Day Street, he know how to skate.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
I'm from Detroit. Let's see.
I mean, he
Come
know how
on
to
out.
crisscross and get low and right. Okay. Hey.
The challenge is on.
Okay. Hey, it's happening on tomorrow night. It's going to be at Skate World beginning at 6:00. If you, let me see, AJ Fisher said roll bounce tomorrow night. That's right. It's happening. All right. Come on. All of my Facebook family, if you know anything about skating, AJ, I understand y'all did a big skate night not too long ago, man. Give me a call. Let's talk about that. 850-671-1450. So all of this started out of walking and now
The sense of community. I think women supporting women during COVID, which we've been talking about, and thank you for talking about it on your show each week. People need that support, and they needed to connect. It is just a human need to connect with others. But when people are walking and talking, you're engaging in self-care and wellness and mindfulness. And so this is just one of the things that came out of walking together.
wow.
It's been like a movement.
wow.
And so with the fierce and flexi ladies come out and roller skate, and you might say, well, I'm not going to know anybody. Guess what? It's okay. I just moved to Tallahassee. I can't say that. People, my friends said, don't say that. It's not been years and years and years. I'm not a 5th or 10th generation Tallahassean, as some people are. I've just been here about 5 years. But it's the sense of community is great. Come out and meet some people. It doesn't matter if you don't skate well or if you, what is it, Day Street? What is it?
Day Street.
Okay, you
If
can
you-
skate. You said
Yeah, that's
okay.
right. If you skated at Day Street, that's in my neck of the woods. Then
You
you know
can
how to
skate.
skate. Listen, we got a call on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Man, Apostle AJ, listen, I've got the skate lady here today, and let me ask you this. I saw you had a big skate thing not too long ago.
Yeah, man, we had a unity in the community, man, trying to challenge everybody to give an alternative to the kids, man, on what they do at night. We wanted to try to bring them out during the day from 12 to 5 at Rolling Time Skate Rink in Quincy, and just allow them to enjoy each other, man. Free food, fellowship, and just, if you don't know how to skate, we're going to teach you how to skate. Because I grew up in Fort Ave, so I was that age.
Okay, so okay, but now it was a great time of fellowship for people who didn't know how to skate. It was just those who did know were helping. I mean, it was just amazing time. Huh?
The beautiful thing about it, Pastor Green, was the fact of not how many people showed up. It was the numbers of people showed up, but the fact that when you made your presence known in the place, it wasn't just for skating, it wasn't just for the fellowship, but the fact that because we did it to unify the community, the people that showed up showed that they wanted to stand in you.
Wow. Well, man, I tell you, I think we're on to something with this skating. We might do saint skate, sinner skate. Somebody can skate. We might have to do something.
A saint skate. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hey, listen, I just had somebody that put on Facebook, said, dust off the bikes and let's do bicycle riding. Hey, listen, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Hey, Apostle, man, I thank you for calling. And let me ask you this before we get back. You heard Larry Badu, who's over the Reentry Center, man. And I was looking at some of your comments. Evidently, that made that really caused your spirit to leap to hear that.
Man, listen, first, before I say that, I'll just be real brief. But to the woman of God that's sitting with you and to Mr. Larry, man, their spirits just grasped me in because I know firsthand. I've only been home now 2 years, and I served 5 years. And during that incarceration process, in order to even see a counselor, you have to even You
Mm.
don't have any strength to even come out. Even coming out here, entering society, it's still a bit tough. Like they said, people just need to be, it's called a correctional facility. So the facility is made to correct you. Whatever you did, or whatever wrongs you didn't do, or whatever the case may be, you have an opportunity now to present yourself out here in the world. And my toughest struggle was not having employment. So when you said that, that was on point. But I made up my mind for 2 months straight, Pastor Greg. I rode my bicycle from St. John Community out in Quincy. I rode my bicycle all the way to Midway, Florida to Flying J because I was dedicated and I was motivated to make my situation shift. And the only way for it to shift was for me to be able to have that job by any means necessary, even if I had to walk. I made it my duty and my mindset to get to this place so that I can possess what God had promised me in the midst of the struggle.
Wow. Well, I know you ain't riding no bicycle now. I think you're self-employed now. Hey, and you know, I want to applaud you. I really want to applaud you, first of all, for your transparency. I mean, one of the things that I think that gives us the greatest victory is when we can be transparent. And when we become transparent, we de-arm the enemy. I mean, there's nothing nobody can tell me about me because I'm gonna tell you about me before you try to tell me about me because you don't know me like me. So I'm gonna tell it so that you won't have to try to figure out how you gonna say it. So I applaud you because I heard you one day in your car just having a moment where pastors had came to attack your past. And man, it really blessed me just to sit and listen to you, just have a moment of transparency. But yet you knew that your transparency was causing you to triumph.
And let me tell you something, Greg, and I'll leave you alone, man. The thing that gave me healing that day, the woman God shared something. She said, the shepherds lead like the sheep. And what I had to realize, what God revealed to me in that moment of vulnerability was that when you share your story, it's a testimony. But when other people tell it, it's gospel. So when you beat the enemy to telling whatever you've been through, whatever you face, and you bring everything out to the table, people are going to do one thing. They're going to accept you or reject you. And you go with the flow of the ones that accept you. And the ones that reject you can stay on the same level after God raises you up.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Hey,
Woo!
Doc, you better send me your cash app so I can sow into that. Hey, man, really, thank you so much for calling, and certainly we appreciate all that you're doing. And may the God be with you. Amen.
Amen. May God bless you, Pastor Greg. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
You know, there's power in a story.
There is
Power.
There is.
There's power.
And you know what? By you saying that, it's because all of you ladies were walking. You created a story that have led you to skates.
That's right. The skates, right? Yeah, that's right.
Because everybody was walking, was sharing stories about their life, about
yes.
what they were encountering.
Yes.
And those stories move you all.
It's true because, the humanistic part, there's this term we use in counseling called being congruent. As a psychotherapist, we learn these things in school, how you walk, do you walk the talk, but are you congruent? Do you say what you mean and mean what you say? Like you're a congruent person.
You think so?
Pastor. Yeah, and you just tell it like it is. And when you tell your story, there is power in your story and nobody can take away from it. Those people that are trying to take away from it, you have to wonder, where are they coming from? What is their angle? And what are they? Do they have low self-esteem? What is wrong? They have not done what you're doing. And so there's power in you telling your story because you empower others by the power of your story. And once people know that you're being congruent, you're being authentic and your authentic self, that's everything. And that's going to take you to the next level, of course, along with your faith.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. And certainly I was just on yesterday with out at Brooks and Faison for their series Come Back Stronger, being interviewed by Carrie. And I'm going to have her with me on next week, because they're going to air that story next weekend about, just telling the authentic story about, the recovery from the fall. And so I'm excited about it.
Well, that's excellent. If you don't mind, I would like to say we need, with everything going on in the world, and we see the disproportionate numbers of African Americans that don't get mental health or need mental health or being treated a certain way. There are great police out there, but we know there are a lot of issues out there where people are not treated right, with police and other things. So if you don't mind, I would like to just share, if there are people who are interested in clinical mental health counseling, please consider Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University at FAMU. I'm in the College of Education. We have the most amazing program for clinical mental health counseling and school counseling for those people that think that they're a helper and they want to help and they want to make a difference. Please apply to FAMU for a master's program in clinical mental health counseling, because we need more counselors of color. We need more diverse counselors. And we just have a phenomenal program. It's one of the best kept secrets. It's the only program at Florida A&M that's aligned with the Department of Health, Chapter 491, to become licensed.
Wow.
It's the best kept secret, I think. Of course, there's lots of great secrets. FAMU is phenomenal, but I'm a little biased because I'm in the counselor education department.
Right.
But we need more counselors.
Wow.
Please apply to graduate school. If you have a background, you already have your bachelor's, apply for the master's in counselor education. And you can either do school counseling or clinical mental health counseling.
Wow.
And we need more counselors. I mean, we have a shortage of counselors right now. There's a shortage, like you're saying. There's many programs now, like Larry said, with Sheriff McNeil, they're incorporating mental health into the equation. We need more mental health counselors.
Because there's such a need, and the need is growing. And I think, Dr. Michelle, this is just my view. I think the pandemic has caused African Americans to realize that there's nothing wrong now with sitting down saying, I need counseling.
Yes.
I need prayer, but
Mhm.
then there are some things I need to just talk about.
Mhm.
There's some things that I'm having that I need to have somebody to give me a roadmap on how to handle this.
And absolutely. So just think, we don't get any information on mental
Somebody
health
just
counseling.
asked me, somebody
Mhm.
said, what about a bachelor's degree?
Okay, so we have bachelor's degrees, of course, at FAMU. That some people do community psychology, they do social work, and other similar programs, but you'll first have to do the bachelor's degree. And then in our program, we have 4 amazing professors and amazing dean, Dr. Watson, and we have the clinical mental health counseling and school counseling. But the prerequisite is that you have to have a 3.0 and you have to have a bachelor's degree first. And so definitely we have that too. So please come for the undergraduate program. But we definitely need more counselors. But about mental health, I want to say this. During the pandemic, we know that there have been a spike with people who have been diagnosed and experienced anxiety and depression, situational depression. We know even before the pandemic, there's a portion of society that has mental health issues anyway. So with the pandemic, these issues were only exacerbated.
Right.
Exactly. So what we do know is now people know that they can ask for help. They can go to psychologytoday.com and they can search for counseling in their zip code. They can go through Appalachia Center, the Oasis Center. There are a lot of places that get counseling, but just asking for help and being vulnerable is so, so important. We know that there's also a rise in domestic violence during the pandemic, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, because people didn't know how to cope, right? Because just with the pandemic, and there's kind of like a paranoia, and there's this anticipatory anxiety or constant anxiety about what's going to happen next. Am I going to die? What's going to happen to my family? So people are so stressed out. And now with this news spike, right? With the news spike,
yes,
that's going to now exacerbate some of the mental health issues that were actually improving. So mental health is huge. And now people do know they can talk about it. It doesn't mean that you're weak. And I want to say this, there are many people that have mental health issues or concerns or unresolved issues from their family of origin. If they don't resolve those issues, people have had trauma, loss, grief. If they don't address those things, they're going to creep up into their lives, into their relationships, into their leadership style or skill. If they don't address those issues, and be whole, it's almost like if you don't address the issue of something trauma from your childhood and you just think I'm going to sweep this under the rug, it's going to show up and it's going to be like the invisible person in the room. When Rick James was talking about Mary Jane, singing about Mary Jane, and it's the invisible person in the room, like drugs or alcoholism. If you have some trauma, that could be the invisible some invisible partner in the room between you and the other person, or you and your congregation, or whatever. Get those things resolved so that you can be whole. It's
Wow.
very important.
Wow. I'm telling you, when you said Rick James was talking about Mary James, I mean, I had back in my seat because I remember him singing, "I'm in love with Mary James."
I know. Remember that line?
Yeah, she
Right.
is my main thing.
That's right. I know
Okay.
that song. That's right.
Okay.
And that song, "I'm in love with Mary J." This
Yeah.
thing, that's how people feel about substance abuse,
Mm.
right? That's your alcohol. That's your meth. That's your crack, whatever. That's Mary Jane. That's
Wow.
what Rick James was singing about. So, there are people who have like a secret, almost like having a secret person, but it's not a person. People think that, oh, I wonder if this person, has a secret life or whatever. No, they might have a mental health issue that has not been identified,
Wow.
or unfinished business with their past or their family origin. So what they do is unconsciously try to recreate that drama or that issue in their life, because it's like when you haven't read the end of a book or you didn't see the end of the story.
You
So
create
they
it.
unconsciously create this and manufacture this in their lives because they need closure. That's what mental health counselors do. Seek a licensed mental health counselor. Reach out to Psychology Today. Talk to someone, because it's almost like it gives you the GPS. If I said jump in the car and drive to California, you'd probably get there, but to a specific address, you need your GPS.
Yes, right.
So you can shave years off of your life and save some of that anxiety, and that stress by going to a counselor to just clear the air, to be, like you said, transparent, to put it all out there and resolve those issues and those chapters in your life and have that resolve so that you can move forward as a whole person and not a partial, person.
Wow. Well, hey, listen, I tell you what, I'm going to have to invite you back for a segment on, someone just said, treat the childhood trauma. I'm going to have to invite you back on the segment so that we can just really talk about the taboos and the misconceptions of mental health when it comes to our community. But certainly, I want to thank you for joining us today. And don't forget now, tell them it's happening when?
Tomorrow at Skate World at 6 p.m. Calling all the fierce and flexy ladies for a red rollout. Come roller skate with us tomorrow from 6 to 9 p.m. at Skate World. And please bring your friends. We're calling all fierce and flexy ladies. We're calling deltas. We're calling zetas. We're calling AKAs. We're calling
Teachers,
nurses, doctors.
Everybody.
That's right. And bring a significant other. Hey, we can do something and do some challenge between, the genders. Who knows?
All right. Well, listen, I want to thank Dr. Michelle for joining me. Thank Larry Berdue from the Leon County Sheriff's Office, Director of the Reentry. And don't you forget, tomorrow night now, I won't be skating, but I may try to drop in just to see what Al is going to be doing because he's from Dade Street. And don't forget now, how can people pick up their Tallahassee Women's Magazine?
So Tallahassee Woman Magazine is delivered and it's all over in different places around town, or you can come by the office at 1425 East Piedmont and pick up a copy or find it online at talwoman.com. Tallahassee Woman Magazine, for women, by women, about women. This is an OEV, women-owned and certified, women and minority certified business. So thank you so much for supporting Tallahassee Woman Magazine. And see, this is our beautiful Paula DeBose Johnson on the front. She is a rock star. Please read her story. It's very powerful.
All right. Hey, listen, it's been an amazing Wake Up Wednesday right here. And I certainly want to say to you, have an amazing day. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you join me Sunday morning, Life Church International. Until then, I pray that you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you on tomorrow evening at the place where the
Fierce and
flexy ladies are skating. Skate World. You be blessed.